Okay, we're actually recording this time. Welcome back to Calgary Barbell HQ. We're here. It's the end of another training week. It's Friday today, and we are 247 days out from IPF Classic Worlds in 2024, which is my goal. It is the goal of this whole series, and we are documenting my journey to it. There's been some up in the airness about my previous qualification. We don't really know if there's going to be somebody who's going to be able to beat it, because now there's an emergence of new qualifying meets, including rumblings. Now don't quote me on this. Don't go tell somebody that, oh yeah, Bryce said there's going to be it. No, I heard through the grapevine from some anonymous sources of various repute that there may be a Westerns 2024, which I think is a good answer to, okay, Easterns is going to get another chance to qualify. Let's do another Westerns. Let's at least shore it up, and then there we go. And I'm cool with that, because I'm ready to register for whatever meet's going to be in March. Whatever meet I need to do to qualify for Worlds, I'm gonna do it. And this was a big week. This week, I was back under the barbell. Folks, I was back under the barbell. Brings a tear to my eye to say it wasn't that exciting. But I did get to do some high bar tempo squats on my day one, just kind of working my way through the range of motion, going nice and slow. I chose high bar because the way I want to approach this sort of exposure for my knee, to desensitize it, to get back to having access to a full pain-free range of motion, is to come at it in a two-pronged approach. The first of those ways is to implement things that are going to allow me to get a big range of motion on it. So things like a front foot elevated split squat, things like a sort of graduated scaling step up. Now, step ups aren't necessarily a big range of motion, but it is the exact part of the range of motion for me that's problematic. And I actually did both those movements, front foot elevated split squats, superset with step ups on my day 3. But high bars on day 1, also did some single leg back on the landmine. I really like that single leg RDL movement. Again, it's been very challenging for my knee to get through that range of motion. And I think challenging that is a big thing. Sorry, a little scattered. The second prong of the rehab pincer attack is doing things with load that don't require a large range of motion or push into problematic ranges of motion. So I think once I start adding load back in, it's going to be block pulls, maybe some high pin squats, things like that allow me to load but not put demand on the range of motion. And those will be independent from things that demand a high range of motion without a lot of load. You dig? You following? There you go. Basic principles of the kind of framework of the rehab strategy I've been using. Also on day 1, my main bench day, I've been pushing my sets of 5 this block, and looked at my programming, realized I only have this week that just passed and one more week in this developmental block to push bench 5s. My goal being to try to get 170 for 5 on the end of the block, at the end of the block. Last week I did 160 and it was a little undershot. I had planned to just kind of chip it up 2.5 weeks or 2.5 kilos per week, not knowing that I had, the finite timeline that I do. So I jumped up 5 kilos straight to 165. Plan is to do another 5 and hopefully hit a bench PR at Elite FTS on Monday, which, that'd be pretty sick, I think. And it went really well. Day 2, we did conventional deadlifts. So again, trying to find some stuff that's a mix of not loading and pushing into range of motion, and loading but not pushing into range of motion. And the conventional deadlift for me was something I felt like I could load, not super demanding on the knee, not nearly so much as sumo anyways. So I was able to work up to 2 plates on those big 2-plate date. Anyways, 225 for 5 there which felt great, felt good, felt smooth, nothing to complain about. I think that was the day I tried to do some incline work, and my shoulders just were not having it. So after all that, not doing incline today. Worked up to like a couple sets at 225, a couple different inclines, and just can't find a comfortable way of doing incline where it doesn't just feel like absolute garbage on my shoulders. It's pinching and just way too uncomfortable to be able to push through. So I got a couple of sets around here, which I think all the warm-ups and a couple of sort of test sets, I'll count as about one set. And then as planned, I'll go on and do my work on the machine press. But yeah, we're getting towards the end of the block. I just hit a big set on the flat bench, set or two actually. So unsurprised that my shoulders are maybe a little testy here and not really wanting to push it, knowing, next week is the last week of this block. Then I'll be going into a pivot before changing things up. So I think that it's probably good timing to just maybe not do as much incline this week. We'll see how it goes. If I can find something comfortable with close grip, maybe we can keep going there. But even with the bars today, I was having a hard time finding anything that didn't just feel like super pinchy in my shoulders. And normally with incline, I find if I flare out a little more, it feels a little more comfortable. I have a habit to kind of over tuck, specifically on incline. But just couldn't find any relief with it today. So we'll move on. Day 3 this week was feeling a little very sore. Very sore. I told Dylan I was too sore to come into work that day. But we came in, we did some range of motion stuff. So the front foot elbows, and step ups. And we also did some single leg extensions, which I have not been able to do for 2 frickin' years. And I felt the beginnings of a pump in my left quads. That was pretty damn cool. I honestly, I've been able to squat heavy. I've been able to do some pretty heavy deadlifts, but I have yet to actually be able to put specific isolated work into these quads on this side, because that's very specifically a range of motion that's challenging for me. And was able to get a little bit of work in there, some myo reps, and just kind of push till I got a little bit of a pump, which honestly felt amazing. And also some biceps. We're doing a bicep day every week still. Big time biceps. Big bad bussin' biceps bitty baby day. Dylan is coaching my biceps. Every time I come in here, he's like, boy, I got a movement for you. You're not ready for this shit. And then he takes an incline bench over to the cables and does some weird, crazy stuff with it. And honestly, I love it. It's been good. Been getting the pump. Been feeling the mind-muscle connection. And been continually harped on by Dylan. Don't go so fast. Squeeze at the top. So, I don't know. If you want to reach out, Dylan's available for coaching. Biceps only. Today was paused sumo deadlifts, which also felt great. I really wanted to push them harder. I had more. I know I can push harder. The knee feels good, but I'm really trying to keep the limiter on a little bit. My inclination when things feel this good is to open her up, But we're trying to be smart. We got long-term goals. I think I said in the last video that within a month or 2 I'd be back to normal training, and now I'm by the end of the month for sure. So yeah, things are going really well, and the plan seems to be accelerating every so often. And I think I'm gonna be doing some real squats, some real benches, some real deadlifts all at the same time pretty soon here. Still eating a ton, still hungry as hell, and weight gain has been perfectly consistent. I've gained, on average, week over week, I think 0.5% of my body weight, which I think works out to maybe a kilo or something. I don't know. Anyways, Derek's happy with the numbers. I'm eating a lot of food, and I'm actually consistently hitting all my macros. I've upped my fiber intake. I'm getting protein in regular feedings. I'm getting a lot of steps every day. I'm kind of crushing shit, and it feels good. And I'm proud of myself for it, and I'm stoked, and I'm revved up, and I'm just, I don't know when the last time I was this excited and happy about lifting. I feel like all the injuries and setting this place up and not really understanding or knowing how HQ fit into what we wanted to do, or knowing what we wanted to do with content and whatever else. I think a lot of that really took a toll on me in a lot of ways for a long time. And something just clicked after North Americans. And yeah, I'm excited and happy and motivated and enjoying every single session. And also have been recording a little bit of a different style of vlog. We're gonna put a link in the description for anybody who's interested to some very rough, unlisted examples of those videos. Dylan's smirking behind the camera right now. What is the smirk about?
Just be nice.
Be nice?
Yeah, not you.
Oh.
Viewers.
Oh yeah. Yeah, viewers, be nice. I've learned and grown and gotten a lot better at them since we started doing them, but the filming process and the editing process are obviously offset. So what you're gonna see is the roughest, earliest stuff, if you want to, and it's there for your viewing pleasure. If you like what we're doing and you wanna support us, check out the Calgary Barbell Training app. It's our baby, it's our bread and butter. It's how we butter our bread and put roofs over our heads. And we treat it with that kind of love from our end. So check it out, calgarybarbell.com. We got a free program on there. More apparel, end of November, probably. And I'm pretty excited about it. I'll give you a hint. That theme. What could it be? Who knows? See you in the next one. Bye.